Hi, my name is Denisha Merriweather, and I am so excited to do another Black-owned schools tour. This time we are visiting Houston, Texas at Beatrice Mayes Institute, and I'm so excited to talk with their founder. Thank you so much for being on and talking about your school.
Thank you for having us. We are elated to be here this morning.
Awesome. Well, first, tell me a little bit about yourself and your education journey and how you got into this field of education.
Well, I am a country girl from East Texas, St. Augustine, Texas. Grew up there, fourth of seven siblings in our family. Um, Graduated as a valedictorian of the class, and migrated to Houston in 1961, and attended Texas Southern University and Houston College of Technology. I became a technician and worked extremely hard. I'm a hard worker, I should say that, and from that point, I decided if I can work this hard for somebody else, why can't I work for myself? So that was sort of the beginning of the idea of starting a school. I had been volunteering, giving kids in our community tutoring. Students during the summer when I found out that many could not read, and I just wanted a little bit more, especially for the kids I was surrounded around. So I tutored kids in reading, and then the idea came to me that why not work for yourself? Because you give so much, and it started from that point when my husband went out and found us a little building for 30 kids, and it's all history now. The educational part of it is because I have met many parents that wanted better than what they were receiving in the public schools. And I came up with that idea to develop a curriculum that was above the average that what our children were getting in the public schools in our area. And our school grew from just that idea of excellent education for our parents. We know that just because we may have an economic status of low monies coming in, it doesn't mean that we don't have parents that want the best for their children. And that's how we put a curriculum together that our kids would supersede the average.
That's awesome. And one of the things that you said at the beginning that I love to describe you founders as are education entrepreneurs. And that's something you said right in the beginning. I can work for someone else or I can work for myself. And that's the spirit of entrepreneurship and just that aspect, that energy entering the education space is so powerful. So you have this passion, you see that things are happening in the community, parents want better for their kids, and you can provide better. And so your background is not necessarily in education. How did you muster up the courage to say, like, I can start a school, I can, start this?
Yeah, I was in medical technology working, and I just wanted to do something for myself. If I could work this hard for someone else, why not put something together for myself? And there was a need for, and still is, a need for our children to get a higher education, a better education. And not only that, just someone really put in an effort in our kids that with low income and with low skills and etc. So that's pretty much how I got into that by tutoring the kids during the summer and seeing that there was a need and moving from medical to education. it wasn't difficult for me to do that. I had many of my friends were teachers, and talking with them and collecting their intel their information, and I just had a lot of help in the area from the community to get started.
Awesome. Awesome. And, that's so amazing. So talk to me a little bit about your school. Talk to me, about when it was founded, how many students you're serving, and the, the approach that you're taking to education.
Very good. Well, our school began in 1966, and we take pride in that we are the only I won't say black, African American school here in Houston that has been 55 years, and we take our brag book out on that. But our school was founded in 1966, starting out with 30 students, and having a PTO, having parents that was totally committed to the children there at our school, where they bought the computers, where they bought books, their idea of wearing uniforms. So our parents have always been a part of our school. And from that point, they help with the curriculum, along with my expertise of learning and researching. We put a strong curriculum together, very, I want to say rigorous, and still do that. So our school grew from 30 students to now over 500 students that we have.
Wow.
We are working with pre-K 2 through 8th grade now. Our school now stands at 1% in the Texas, 1% of the hot schools in Texas. So we have an excellent curriculum, and I think we pull our brag book out on the excellence that we do for our kids, and the record shows that our kids do well with the curriculum and with the teachers and with the parents that we have, that we do a good job with them.
How fantastic. How amazing. And I can imagine because you're set up as a private school so just background for everyone listening, Texas does not have a state scholarship centered organization or a state scholarship for students. And so many of the students, do they have to pay out of pocket? Are you scholarshiping them? How are they paying?
Okay, at the beginning of our school, we were a private school, and the parents did have to pay a tuition. And believe it or not, it was $12.50 a week at the beginning. Now, which is like 200 to 250 and etc. Depends on age and everything. Yes, parents do have to pay as private. Our we are comprised of two schools. Our smaller kids, 2 through 4 years old, 5 years old, it's still private, and our K through 8th grade is I would say charter school. We became charter in 2001, and the reason for that was that we knew that we couldn't continue to compete against the charter movement, and parents was not going to be able to continue to pay more for the kids to get a good education. So we went charter. So the state pays the tuition for the kids for K through 8th grade.
No, yeah, awesome. And I'm sorry I missed that because that was one of the questions, because it's so hard to keep schools sustainable without the support of the school choice movement.
Exactly.
That helps keep doors open. And so I'm glad to hear that the transition did happen, because you can continue to serve and to provide options for students.
And one of the things that with that, I was so proud. Well, we were losing some of our pride for who we are, and now we're going to be a charter school. But one of the advantages of that was that, just an example of that, we had a grandmother that would come in probably 3 times a week to pay the $12.50. She may bring a couple pennies, and she might bring $2 or $3, but she was so involved with her grandson and she would come during the week, and then she would sit out there in the front of the building and read to her child to make sure that he was getting his homework and
Yeah.
etc. And so when we went charter, she did a hallelujah dance out there in front of the TV.
That's
So that is
awesome.
one of the advantages that it help us to help more of our low income parents to
Yeah.
have a good education for their kids.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And I think that, it is so great during the pandemic. A lot of private schools had to close their doors because they didn't have finances. Parents
Exactly,
couldn't afford to
exactly,
pay.
exactly.
They were laid off their jobs, and it created a sustainability issue. So hats off. And you are still, you have
Yeah.
your, you mentioned your founding or something like that. There are not a lot of Black-owned charter schools, so you're still in the.
We are, we are, we are, we are,
Yes, you
and
are.
yeah.
And I like to show people some of the briefly for those who are watching, you'll be able to see the screen. But for those of you who are listening to this via podcast, you won't see my screen. But what a beautiful website of the school and just the smiling faces of the students is just so beautiful, so remarkable, and what a great job.
Thank you.
So moving on into what's your what is your hope? What do you you've been around for a while now, 5 years. So what keeps you motivated, and what's your hope continue to be for students?
We want our children to continue to be well learned, knowledge. We want them to be good problem solvers. We want them to be good, productive students, citizens, good character. We want them to be knowledgeable and good thinkers and problem solvers so that they can live a productive life as they become adults. And we are very proud that we have many of our kids that have graduated and gone on to be lawyers and doctors and entrepreneurs and staff workers. It doesn't matter, but just be a good, productive person. And we still advocate that with our kids to learn whatever you are, and whatever you are, be the best that you can be.
Yeah. What are some students, or like you mentioned that grandma, what are some of the success stories or some of the stories of your students that really warms your heart and keep you motivated?
Okay, one of the stories that I can think of right now is we had one parent to come to our school one evening, even when we had closed, and she knocked on the door and she made sure someone would answer that door. And she was bringing her child to enroll in our school because at the public school that was in the community, they were getting ready to put her into special ed. Mm-hmm. And she was resisting that. She knew that her child could learn. However, the child was low skill. And we took her in very reluctantly, and because if you would see her, she would be one of the children that would be overlooked in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And we took her in and tested her to see where she was, and we even supplied clothing and at least the PTO did, and all of the tools that the child needed, and the PTO paid for the testing that was done for this child. She was going into second grade. She learned how to read. And when she left us in 8th grade, she was on the honor roll. Mm-hmm. She went on into high school from Jesse H. Jones High School. She graduated from high school. Then she went to the University of Houston.
Wow.
Where she graduated there. She even wrote a book while she was there at the University of Houston. And now Erica is a teacher in public school, married with 2 children, and we call that we just know that's being successful Yeah.
That really is, and it reminds me of just how important it is for kids to be in a good learning environment, an environment that affirms them, that
Exactly. Hmm.
lets them know that you do have potential. You know,
Exactly.
society might tell you might not have potential. You might be trying to be, they might try to identify you of having some special needs or everything, but you're capable, you know,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
It is, and also just to plug our special need kids at our school. You never do know that they are special need kids because they are loved, and everybody wrap their arms around them. The students could not criticize or you're this and you're that. That we all take them, and you would never know when you walk in the classroom who the special, and they are in the regular classes.
Yeah, it reminds me of my personal story too, because when I was growing up, I failed the third grade twice. I was like workaholic. Teachers would sigh when I came in the door, like, okay,
Look at
here's
you
your
now. Look at you
Nisha.
now.
And it wasn't until I started to go to a different school and I went to a small private Christian school, and they had a different outlook on me. They saw me differently and really let me know that you have something in you, and you
Uh huh.
can work
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
We can help you achieve it.
Yeah.
And I went to college, became the first in my family to graduate from high school.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it all started with, someone like you, in your school, like just the environment of just saying, you can do it.
Hmm.
This
Kids
is
have
how
to know that they are loved. They have to know that there's love,
it
and
makes
when
no
if they get that, then they will work for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Well, this is such a treat. Anything else? What else can you tell us about you, about your school? What am I not asking that you would like people to know about all the great work you're doing?
Well, see, it's very difficult for me to brag about myself. But one of the things that we do take pride is that we have a stable staff, that we have many of our students that graduated from us have come back, and they're teaching. They're on an administration where they're taking care of the little money, and we have grandparents that they could continue to come. The students that graduate, they are bringing their children back to Wonderland,
That's awesome.
BMI, because they say they want their children to get that same education that they received. We take pride. We take pride in that. The other thing is that our curriculum is rigorous, but is designed to help all kids, whether you're low or high. We get in there, and we have teachers that are committed to make sure that children move from point A to point B each year. And we do not mention tests. We do not mention you got to pass a test. No, you have to do the skills. And teachers teach skills. And we believe if you teach the children, it takes care of the testing. And we take pride in that we develop a curriculum, a staff environment that we all are working together for the one common cause, and that is for our children.
Yes. And you don't like to brag on yourself, but I see someone helping you with camera equipment.
Yes.
My parent camera equipment to do brag on you. I actually found out about your school. I was doing an event in Houston talking about Black Lives Matter. I shared the stage with another school founder, talked about the directory, and a woman came to me afterwards and said, do you know about Beatrice Mayes? And I was like, no. She's like, it's the oldest school. I found this school here. And I'm like, are you serious? Well, yeah, they have to be on the directory.
Thank you.
Immediately added into the directory.
Yeah.
Like,
We had a couple parents to come and say, y'all been around here a long time.
and that's fantastic. We do, there's a lot of history behind Black-owned schools, and this is like a new wave with what I'm doing, but it's not new. they were around one-room schoolhouses. It
Yeah.
was common.
Mhm.
It wasn't nothing that was new.
I can recall in elementary, the one room with the teacher had all the grades in one room, and she got around to all of those kids, and those kids was very knowledgeable and successful of achieving, because it boils down to, do you care about the children? What are you going to do to help the children? And you're so right, and that is one thing. Well, I was taught to make the bed up, put that spread on correct, and etc. So those are the things that we were brought up like that. Do your best, and give your best. And right now, that's one of the things that we have now at our school, that the children must do community service to give back to community, because so many are given to you, and that's one of the things that we ask from them as they are here. So when they become adults, that you are giving back to the community, because so many people have given back to you.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about your role. You've been in this for 55 years. Are you still the school administrator, the principal? What are you doing now
No,
that you picked the school up?
no, I'm not. We have a strong administrative staff. We have a strong staff with teachers. I think I'm around observing and seeing if they're doing what they're supposed to do. But basically, I work with the curriculum. I just finished completing our updating our curriculum for this school year. I also help with the hiring of the staff here at the school. I sit in on the board meetings, and give my point of view. Those kind of things. And now, believe it or not, I pull me a few kids out, and I'm tutoring.
No, and I love to hear this. So why was that transition important to you, or when did that happen, and
Okay.
when did you
I think
notice?
I think that everybody have a season, and for this to continue, it needs to be passed on for someone else to implement the programs, to implement the culture, to kind of get in my head what I have for the kids, or what have been done. And we cannot grow, I want to say, all by yourself. So it has to be passed on. So that was passed on to, it's a family school, to my oldest son, who was at NASA. He was engineer and working at NASA, and I begged him to come on back and make a little bit less money and help with with the kids here. So he is now the superintendent of the school. I also have one of my students that's over the finance, the CEO, finance person, and we have the teacher that was in the classroom. Miss Johnson, D. Johnson, was a good teacher in the classroom. We pulled her out. Now she is the chief executive officer, so she trains and work with the principals, and we have two other principals that to work and make sure that the vision is continued.
Yes. Was that a hard transition?
I want to say no. I had some reservations, and a few reservations, but knowing that the people that we were passing it on to were people that was going to be committed, that were committed, and that they would be able to pass it on. Not only that, they sort of leaned on me on making sure, is this what you want? Is this way it goes? And then there are people that have good vision themselves, and they can continue the process.
Amazing. Well, there's so many gems there, even for the people who are listening to this podcast and looking at this video. A lot of the schools that I've interacted with, a lot of them, you do get to a certain point where you need to pass it along and allow the vision to continue through someone else. And it's amazing. I think after 55 years, gone through all of these, phases, and I'm sure have learned trial and error. And it's just a pleasure to see that you've done this. And so I would love for you. We're building up a community of founders who are actually, some of them have just launched during the pandemic. To have you mention them or just talk to them, because they're just so many gems of things that they might be doing. It's like maybe you could do a little bit better. I don't know. But thank you so much for being on. This has just been such an amazing interview with Beatrice Mayes Institute, with the founder, Ms. Beatrice Mayes herself. You can learn more about the school at bmischool.org, and we have the clicker that's going around at the bottom of the screen with the website. What can parents and educators, students do to help your school or to learn more about you?
We are now, well, first go to the website and read about us and see how much you love us and become a part of us. But right now, we're in a campaign where we are raising funds to build a building for high school now. And we are hoping to launch that in August, so that within a year we'll be able to go through high school with our children. So anybody have any funds that want to send our way, you certainly can do that. Also, the virus have caused us to use a lot of our finance. We bought many supplies for our kids, the mask, and the kids have the stand-up temperatures, and we bought more water fountains, and all of that is in the hallway. So we dividers. All of the kids have a divider on their desk. So all of those things that we have done extra to make sure that our children are safe during this virus. So anyone wants to help supply in that area, we sure would love it.
You've heard it from Ms. Mayes. Go to her website. Go to the school's website at www.bmischool.org. You can donate on their website and give for the building of the high school and for personal protection equipment as we all struggle and the school is coping with COVID-19.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being on. This has been such a pleasure of this episode of Black Minds Matter and our Black Owned School.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.